What's going on, guys? Meteorologist Jonathan Kegges back with you on a Friday. We have made it to the end of the work week, getting ready to start the weekend. Holy cow, was it warm outside today. Record warmth, in fact, and we have more record warmth coming down the pipeline tomorrow. Post in the comments where you're tuning in from. We have a lot to talk about. First and foremost, record warmth to start your weekend. And if you've been with us, you know what I'm going to talk about next. Holy cow, we're dropping like 55 degrees by the time you wake up on Tuesday. Like, this is actually pretty crazy. What I'm gonna show you over the next couple of days or couple of hours, couple of minutes. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's Friday, guys. Hope you're doing well tonight. Again, I'm meteorologist Jonathan Kegges here. New 6 at 9:30 coming at you live on New 6 Plus and on the New 6 YouTube page. So there we go. Records tied or broken today across the board. Almost touched 90 today. If we would have hit 90, it would have been the second earliest occurrence on record in Orlando. So pretty crazy to do. We also have some fog to talk about. That'll roll in again by tomorrow. And then as we get toward Wednesday, still chilly. And then eventually Thursday into Friday, we'll start to pull out of this latest chill. Look at the temperatures right now. It's 9:30 in the evening, and it's 79 in Orlando. It's 72 in Tallahassee. It's 73 in Jacksonville. It's crazy, and it is going to get even crazier again. So here's the high temperature forecast for tomorrow. Back to the mid to upper 80s. Hey, Kimberly, what's going on? Hope you're doing well tonight. Hope you're doing well, Melissa. Golfing Ferdy. Hope you everybody's doing well in the chat room tonight. The red box signifies a record. If we hit 88 tomorrow in Orlando, that would tie a record. 81 in Tallahassee is above normal. 82 in Miami is above normal. 78 in Naples. That's pretty much right where we should be. So that is the forecast for Saturday, tomorrow, February 21st. It is crazy. Here's the tumble that we take. So this is Monday morning. The cold front comes through Sunday morning, and then we watch the temperatures drop from north to south throughout the course of your Sunday afternoon. There's a few rain chances in there. It's not going to do anything to help us out, unfortunately, with the drought. Look at what we wake up to Monday morning. We're back to the Pensacola 36, Tallahassee 36, 41 in Orlando, 50 in Miami. Here comes the tumble. Look at the highs. I mean, we barely get out of the mid-50s on Monday. Like, we're doing this again. We almost hit 90 today. And then this is where we're situated on Tuesday morning, literally low to mid-30s. It cannot be stated that, like, this is now the third or fourth. We've had more cold fronts this season, but that we've had these, like, gigantic fronts that we go from being very warm and then being very cold. And you see it there below the freezing mark, I think, in Marion County, in Northern Lake, Northern Volusia, 30 in Pensacola, 30 Tallahassee. It's crazy. Freezing mark in Jacksonville. So this is going to do a couple of things also. And we're going to get into this on the other side of the break, because my biggest concern about this is the wildfire risk is going to go way up over the next 48 hours, because the sun is going to bake everything tomorrow. The breeze is going to kick up on Sunday, and we knew what happened last week, but I'm going to get into that. I'm kind of putting the cart before the horse here. That's what it's like again on Tuesday morning in the 30s, and then only getting back up into the upper 50s on Tuesday afternoon. So it's crazy, okay? High temperatures on Monday. There you go. Everybody's below normal. I mean, it's February 23rd. I mean, yeah, we still get cold fronts, but it's getting kind of late for these big ones. 51 in Tallahassee, 53 degrees in Jacksonville. Tuesday, more of the same. We're back to the upper 50s as well. So, and that's a great point. This is a great point right here. Hold on. This is a comment of the night, and this brings up the next thing that I was going to talk about was to cover your plants. if they're alive. That's the thing. Are they alive? It's crazy. Yeah, there's a lot of brown out there. And that goes and that goes sorry, I was looking at some of the comments here. That goes into that wildfire threat again, that we do not want to see any of the freeze continue for sure. And if that's coming back, the air is going to be so dry. Alrighty, guys, I have to get my first. I don't know, Albert. I didn't ban anybody. I don't believe I haven't banned anybody in a long time, so that wasn't me. Marky D, I know some counties actually have water. I think Marion County has water restrictions, and I think there's like Marion, Alachua, and like up to the northeast side of toward Jacksonville, there are water restrictions because the St. Johns River watershed is running so low. So I know that there are some. I think the only local county we have like in the greater Central Florida area is Marion County, but I know that does extend into like interior North Central Florida, where there are some water restrictions. I think those came out about a week or two ago. So like it's getting progressively worse. All right, guys, I have to get my first break in. When we come back, we are going to talk about the drought situation. And if you're just joining us and want to know more about this cold blast coming in, just post in the comments. You guys steer the ship on this show, but at least it's my intention to talk about my biggest concern when it comes this weekend, and that is going to be the drought situation and the wildfire threat coming up as well. All right, guys, I'll see you in 3 minutes. What's going on, guys? We are back on a Friday night. Kimberly brought up a good point here. I was going to show you the Keach-Byram Drought Index anyway, but I had forgotten because the week has been so crazy that I took a picture. I said that we would revisit this on Friday to see how much the Keach-Byram Drought Index numbers came up, and this is what we're looking at here. So on Monday in Putnam County, we were at 463. Now we're at 480. So we almost added 20 points. Today we added 6 points alone. So, I mean, now we're going up again by about, 5 to 10 points So, I mean, the sun is getting higher in the sky. Tomorrow it's probably going to shoot up another 5 to 10. So, I mean, certainly, again, the 1 to 2 inches of rain didn't do anything. We showed you that. I mean, it brought these numbers down. The overall drought increased, even though the Keach Byram numbers came down a little bit. But Marion, we were at 511. We're now at 527. Sumter, we were at 441. We're at 462. So we're going up. We added about 20-ish points this week. And all that stuff. Pennsylvania is going to get a ton of snow this weekend. Southeast corner of PA, New Jersey, New York, wild nor'easter there. I wish I was there to see that. That's going to be a good snowstorm up in New England. The one thing here, front comes through. The front comes through on Sunday. So I want to show you this because this is my biggest concern here. Remember what happened last weekend? We had all the rain come Sunday night, but before that, it got really, really windy, and it was still really warm outside, and we had all these brush fires ignite and then blow all over the place. We have wind gusts. This is Sunday afternoon, to a tune of 20 to 40 miles an hour, depending upon where you are. Let me take this back into the morning a little bit. And you'll watch it kind of increase as the front comes through. See it really ramp up before lunch, really gusty around lunch, and then it still stays breezy through the evening. So that's a no-go, because anything that gets going is unfortunately going to spread very easily. The other component to this, obviously, with a really cold air mass comes a very dry air mass. So, I mean, again, it's getting ourselves into a really ugly situation because we're going to heat things up big time, and then we're going to bring in a really dry air mass. So it's just like a trifecta of drying everything back out. So I think those Keach Byram numbers are going to go up a lot over the weekend, and the drought may increase further as we move into the day, as we move into next Thursday when the new drought monitor comes out. So that is also something that I'm watching. Jody is asking, what do the drought numbers mean for Orange County? So good question here. If you are new to the Keach Byram Drought Index, in the dry season, I typically show, when it's not bad, I typically show it once a week just to keep everybody abreast of the situation. But I've been showing this every day because we're in the critical numbers. Just so you know, you don't want to be on the right side of that scale. You want to stay in like below 200, below 300. For perspective, 500 typically starts the burn bans in most counties. This year, most counties have preempted that 500 number because the freeze killed everything off, and we just have a lot of dry, dead stuff everywhere. Very easily burned. So they have gone in and preempted that 500 part, which for most counties, again, enacts that burn ban. We're way over 500 in Marion still, even with the rain last week, although we didn't get a ton. Polk, we hardly got any, 529. We're doing better. I mean, if there's a best, it's in Orange and Seminole. Still, I'd like it to be lower, obviously, but we're doing better than surrounding areas. Now, that does not mean that we can't burn. That has to do a lot with the soil moisture rather than some of the dead vegetation. So that's important to note as well, and that's where the other drought monitor comes in. It's crazy. It's we're in the dry season, but we are our Volusia County community correspondent, Molly Reed. I don't know if anybody saw the newscast tonight, but she was talking to the fire chief in Volusia, and he was just talking about literally the perfect storm coming together with how dry it's been, obviously, and then the freeze. It's the freeze. That's the kind of cherry on top here to what's going on. I will pull that up on the other side of this break. Yeah, 440 is not the greatest. 440 is not the greatest. We want to stay to the left. I mean, we're kind of right in the middle, but obviously we're and that's the average. That's the other thing that I want to point out. So this is an average of samples taken across the entire county. So like northern Volusia County is worse off than southern Volusia County, but when it averages together, you get 440. So there are higher numbers where we have the extreme drought. And you can see that right here. This is the actual drought monitor. So like the northern half of Volusia is way drier than the southern half of Volusia. And Marion County is in an extreme drought. Flagler's in an extreme drought. Alachua, Putnam, St. John's. It's crazy. I mean, the entire state is not good. It's not. We need some rain bad. I would love it if it looked like that, but that's what it really looks like. Alrighty, guys, I have to get my second break. Kimberly's asking real quick while we're still on the drought. It's because we've had a little more rain. The Orlando area has had more rain. Like we got 2 inches of rain on Sunday. So it did help us a little bit more. We got way more than you guys did in Putnam County. And it's just been a little bit wetter, even going back to the last couple of fronts that came through. So that would be the reasoning for that. Just a little bit more moisture in the soil around Orange and Seminole County. All right, when we come back, I have a question about ENSO. So we're going to get into that coming up in just about 3 minutes. Golfing Freddy was watching the loop there. Yeah, I have I like to kind of put that focus where that map kind of loops if you're not like where it loops on when I go to break there. It built all this to kind of bring in storm reports throughout the entire country or whatever. So if that's keep it interesting during the break or whatever. But yeah, a lot of power outages out in California. That's from that powerful system that brought like 8 to 10 feet of snow to the Sierra out there. It's crazy how much snow that they got across the board. Okay, so I had a request to look at Nino 1 and 2. Typically, we are focused on Nino 3.4. That's where we characterize La Nina, El Nino, things like that, and so 3.4 region. So it's warm. That's where we're watching it warm first in 1 and 2. So it's way above. We're about 1 degree Celsius above right now in that department. And that's where the warming is coming in, and bring that full and show you has to do with the demise of La Nina. And eventually that's coming. So what we're looking at here, this is the surface right in here. Up there, up at the top. Oh, you can't even see that. Hold on. Let me detach that from the top. All right. But you can see here all of this warmth. This is the sea surface, that black line that I'm drawing. This is all of the warmth building way below the ocean surface. So El Nino is coming. That warmth is eventually going to make its way up to the surface, and all this blue that you see there, the La Nina characterization, the below normal sea surface temperatures, that's going to turn orange, and then eventually we are going to see El Nino work its way back in, and then it's going to take over, hopefully in time for the peak of hurricane season, and it can shred off all these storms so we have nothing to worry about. But I don't know if it gets here in time to help us out too much. Now, maybe it'll get here for next dry season and it can keep us wetter than normal. We're not back in this situation again, but we will have to see. Jury is still out on that one, but had the request to show Nino 1.2 or 1 and 2. So there you go. Alrighty, guys, have to run and get ready for the 10 o'clock news tonight. If you want more on the actual forecast here as we get ready, it'll take you hour by hour when it comes to the drop in temperatures. That's one thing I didn't get a chance to show you. I'm going to break that down tonight. Coming up, News 6 at 10 on News 6 Plus and on the News 6 YouTube page. And all of that stuff as well coming up at News 6 at 11. That's going to be on the traditional TV side of things. So I hope to see you guys there. If not, I'm back here in the chair, 9:30 on Monday. We're going to see what the drought numbers have done over the weekend, and hopefully we're not talking about new brush fires erupting this weekend. That seriously is my biggest concern, because there's not a lot of rain with this front, and there's a whole lot of wind and a lot of dry air. So we'll be watching that very, very closely. Alrighty, guys, I hope you have a great evening. Be safe. I'll catch you on Monday.